Hey everyone, this is Adam from Outlier, and this is your midweek NFL Week 3 reports. Going into Week 3, we might have some 0-3 teams. We might have some 3-0 teams. I think it's important to note a couple things about that the season isn't over for either of these teams. So since 2013, there's been only one 0-3 team that has made the playoffs. That's the Houston Texans in 2018. And since 2013, there have been 13 teams that have started 3-0, and those teams have actually missed the playoffs. It was Minnesota, Atlanta, Denver did it twice, Carolina, Dallas, the Rams, Miami did it twice, Philly did it twice, Baltimore and Chicago. So it's not the end. It's possibly the end if you're an 0-3 team. And you should definitely watch out if you become a 3-0 team. Going to talk a little bit about some of the early line movement that we've seen. I think something that's really important is that we saw a big line flip with the Vikings and the Chargers. The Vikings started off as home dogs. They are now favorites. And what's important about this is that since 2005, when an 0-2 team faces another 0-2 team, as the Chargers and the Vikings are, the dog, which the Chargers are, the dogs covered 65% of the time. Sounds like we might be backing the Chargers this weekend. Sounds a little bit scary. I don't know. But that's what the trend has said. It's pretty overwhelmingly happened. But again, this was a line that flipped. So it's a little bit different than things that we've seen in this trend. Another big line move we saw was that Detroit, they were a 6-point favorite. And now it's been steamed down to 3.5 points against the Falcons. I know there's some injuries on the Detroit side, but this line movement seems really weird, especially since the totals have gotten bet up, even though the line has gotten shorter, indicating it's a tighter game. Something to look at. Probably the biggest move, though, Joe Burrow, questionable, possibly not playing because of calf soreness. The line for that game has moved from Cincinnati being favored by more than a touchdown to Cincinnati only being favored by 2. This is a primetime game, so unders are probably going to be in play. Also, the total's been bet down 2 points. No Burrow would definitely mean a very different offense for the Cincinnati Bengals. You know, this is something we saw in week 1 with Travis Kelce, and that line move got steamed down. Everyone's got to remember that when a line moves because of a player injury, there's such a thing as a bottom of the market too, which makes it a favorable line for the other side. It's not always just chase where the steam goes. Sometimes you want to fade it and maybe take the other side because the market moves both ways. We're going to have guests later this week on our next video, but I just wanted to give you guys this update. Make sure you check injury reports. Make sure you look at where some of these initial line moves are. And, good luck with the middle of your week as you kind of keep up, drop your fantasy players, and make sure you're keeping tabs on everything. Thanks again.